Welcome to the Mulligan Menace. Today we got a very special Dimir Discard deck that I brewed up. But first, please hit that subscribe button below. Help out the channel. Really appreciated it. And if you could, hit that like icon and click on the hype button to hype the video. Hype really helps out the channel. Fairly new channel, growing, trying to get to 2,000 subscribers, so please help out the channel. And let's get into the deck list. So the whole basis of this deck, obviously, it has the discard package that we normally see in a lot of the discard decks, but we want to have the ability to bounce our discard spells and bounce other enchantments to really help us out. In this, we have the Boomerang, 4 of the Boomerang Basics. This thing is a champ. So you can think about all the enchantments that we can drop down, like you can drop down a Bandit's Talent, a Momentum Breaker, Nowhere to Run. All those cards can just bounce back to your hand. You get to draw a card, and you get to play it again. So even if you have 5 mana in play, you can actually play this, bounce it, play it again, make them discard 2, draw a card. That's just an insane turn. So you can think about how often you can do that. And the nice thing is, Momentum Breaker both has the option where they have to sacrifice a creature or they discard a card if they don't have a creature. So this can be treated as a discard spell that you double up with Boomerang Basics. And the nice thing is, you can cast those and they can just stick around until you find something to bounce with. So really handy in that situation. We do have 2 of Phantom Interference, mainly for the counterspell. The nice thing about counterspells in a discard deck, it's basically another discard spell if you think of it that way. They try casting their card. Not only are they discarding the spell by you countering it, but they're also wasting the mana and probably turn to do so. So it is almost just as powerful as a lot of the other discard spells, sometimes more, if you think of it that way. And it has that extra ability that late in the game that you can create a 2/2 if you really need to squeak in some of that final damage. So it's nice to have that ability. 3 steps ahead, same thing, counter spell for 3. You're not going to be copying anything for its second ability. But if you can get up to 5 mana, you can hold this up to counter and draw 2 cards, which is awesome. Because you can draw into more discard spells or whatever you need in that situation. 4 of Duress. We want to hit them early. Get rid of those threats that we can't handle. Intimidation Tactics, same thing. Get rid of those things early. Want to get rid of those artifacts. Mainly creature cards you're probably going to be looking for with this. So typically turn 1, this is my turn 1 play if I have it available. Because it targets both the creature and artifact decks. Very strong in that. Ruthless Negotiation. What's really nice about this card is you can basically cast it twice. Once from its graveyard, once from your hand. It only costs 1. The flashback also allows you to draw a card, which is huge in a deck like this. Bandit's Talent, obviously 4 of. Deep Cavern Bats. The neat thing about a Deep Cavern Bat, you're probably wondering why you have that in this. It does disrupt their hand, but the nice thing about that is even if they try to go kill it, they're going to have to spend another card to do so, which is in itself a discard spell. So you're either taking a card or making them spend a card to kill it. Ultimately, it's a 1-for-1 discard, which is awesome in that situation. Plus, you have that additional benefit of having the 1 lifelink flyer, which is nice because you can get a little bit of incremental life in there. Remember, Momentum Breaker can sacrifice as well if you need that additional life gain at the end of the deck. I think there was a game or 2 where I actually needed that, and it worked out really well. Nowhere to Run for removal. Strategic Betrayal, 1 of in there, just empty the graveyard if you have some pesky spells that are in their graveyard that you need to get rid of. 2 of Cruelty. I really like this just because it can 2-for-1 out of their hand, basically. And then it also does that little incremental damage, the 2 damage. Really nice. Phyrexian Arena, this is your card draw engine. You need to have a card draw engine in it. Otherwise, this deck just kind of falls flat eventually. So you want to make sure you have that. Painful Quandary. This is kind of the finisher in the deck in a lot of ways. Obviously, you got the Bandit's Talent that you're going to be pumping up to do damage. But the Quandary really makes it challenging for your opponent. They're going to either lose 5 life or they have to discard a card to cast a spell. The nice thing about that, you can combine this with your counter spells to basically 2-for-1 them and then make it really tough on them. Obviously, if they don't have a card draw engine, they're in trouble. Land, Swamp, Verge, Restless Reef. We do have 3 of Restless Reef in there. The reason why in there, obviously we want to have options to get blue mana. We don't have a ton of blue casting cost cards, so we don't want to waste island slots in here. But The nice thing about Restless Reef, it's a creature that can get around sorcery speed removal, and you can attack in if the board is clear. So it makes it a really easy way to get some damage in, and especially late game, it really kind of comes in handy. It gives you a mana sink to put some stuff into. So all in all, this deck is very strong. I climbed up the ladder. I got up pretty close to Mythic at the point with this one. You'll actually see in the next video what I used to get to Mythic, but this one climbed up really fast, so I was kind of surprised at just how well this one did on the ladder. So if you want to do some ladder climbing, test this deck out. This thing was a blast to play. It did awesome against the competition, and got me pretty close to Mythic on this. So definitely check it out, and let's get into that gameplay. All right, opponent goes first. We do have Intimidation Tactics, Talent, Nowhere to Run, so a little bit of removal here. Lands are pretty good too. Definitely like that. It's nice to have the Intimidation Tactics. It would be better if we were on the play, because the turn 1 Intimidation Tactics into turn 2 is pretty huge against a creature deck. We're going to keep this. This can still hit a Badger Mole, which is nice. They're playing a blue deck? Let's see here. No, white-black. We'll still go for that. Wow, Azula. And then they have a Whale of the Forgotten, and then an Aang's Iceberg. Okay. Okay, this isn't a... Oh, it has Flash. I think... I want to cast that and boomerang it back. So I'm hoping they cast something here. There we go. Because this is pretty good if they have land for the rest of their cards. The Bandit's Talent, that is. So my turn. We're going to Bandit's Talent. We're looking to get rid of that Iceberg. Okay, we'll boomerang back. Bandit's Talent. Draw a card. I think we can do Intimidation Tactics now. He might have drew. Oh, that's nice. He can still... Let's go for it. Because we can counter the flashed Iceberg. He discarded the Iceberg. Interesting. Kind of want to keep this open for a counter. All right, they didn't counter. Look at their hands, see what they got. Okay. So we're going to boomerang this, force them to discard. Gonna boomerang again. And we can do a talent. Ooh, that's pretty good. Let's Duress them first. I don't trust that last card. Yeah. They do have that, but we got to know where to run. Let's do an order run. Kill their creature. We'll get the Bandit's talent down, get rid of that last card out of their hand. And now we are juicing. We'll pay the 2 life because we can pump that up. They'll start taking damage. Next turn, we'll Arena and... Oh, don't have enough land for that. Let's do this. We can fire up the talent. The Arena out. They'll take 4 damage. They do have a creature. Ah, that's a perfect card for us. We'll Momentum Breaker. We will fire that up so we can do additional draws. Take 4 damage. Just playing off the top of their deck here. Good game. Alright, Dimir Discard. Let's take a look. We go first. We can put in a tap land. That works out okay. Otherwise, we got a lot of discard here. Can try to lead with the Watery Grave and do negotiation, but I think tap land would be better. We'll keep it. I just realized our video is a little bit screwed up, so let's fix that. There we go. All right, we will put in the Restless Reef. I think I'm going to follow this up with the Deep Cavern Bats. Okay, they've got a lot of exiles. They got a Kona. They have a Bandit of their own. I don't want them to do drawing, though. Let's take that. Consult the Stars is a little more concerning, too. Let's get this out. I don't want to get the Bandit's talent countered. I'm fine with it countering this because all we're doing is discarding a card anyways. And then we can follow it up with this. Get rid of another card. There we go. Get rid of the Bandit's talent. And we can even attack in. Okay, they will draw a card. Put this in tapped. Force them to discard the Kona. They got the Omniscience in hand, too. Get the Bandit's talent out while we got the coast is clear. Nice. Okay, they drew. I mean, it only replaces itself, fortunately. So they're still down to 3. Let's draw or get some draw going for us. Turn this on. Back in. Hopefully we draw land. We could do a negotiation or another Bandit's talent too. Let's do this because we can actually double this up. That's a draw 3 discard. We are doing this a little blind. Oh, that's 4. Okay, never mind. We're good. So they're going to discard a good card no matter what here. We're just left with the Regent. We'll turn this on. He'll start taking damage. Alright, they draw 3 cards. They were smart in doing it. Or did they didn't do it before damage, did they? No. We're going to do this so we can drop a bat. They didn't have it. Return target non-land. Which also means we can just drop this out to prevent them from grabbing their other one. Take 4 damage. Okay, stock up's pretty good for them. We can do 6 damage here if we wanted to, as long as they can't interact. Well, I think we just have them discard. We get a draw off that. Rid of Kona. Because we're going to end up doing the 6 damage this way anyways, with the triggers for that. Unless they got a draw spell, that is. Alright. I think we got this one in the bag. Good game, sir. Alright, opponent goes first on this one. That's not good for us, but we will keep this. This is a decent hand. Get the tap land out. We'll do a Water Grave next turn. Pay 2 life. I think we're just going to hold up the Phantom. Oh, that's unfortunate. Pay 2 life. We'll do damage. Or, I mean, make them discard. So it's an ally deck. We're going to be in pretty decent shape here. With the removal spells we have. Oh, that's a good one for the counter. Let's do this. Let's get our card draw down. We already took quite a bit of damage with the Water Graves, but... Okay, Momentum Breaker can handle that. Duress him. Duress him. Leaves him with just land. Okay, We're going to cast Ruthless. Just because we get the card draw off of it. Tapped. Okay, we're just looking to draw into our spells that we need here. Okay. That's going to be annoying. But we can create a token. I mean, we can also just make our land. Do I go for another one? It's going to drain us pretty quickly. I don't have any way of gaining life right now. Let's do that. I mean, we can gain life utilizing those, but we haven't dealt any damage to do that. We can get token down. Okay. Yeah, I can't block with that, unfortunately. Well, we found our way to gain life. Nowhere to run. Get our bat out. Our talent out. Turn on the talent. Attack in. Now we'll only gain 1 life with this, unfortunately. We're going to take 2, 3, 4 next turn here. Two from him and 2 from the arena. No block. We'll do that. We will. Pretty good one to have him discard. We can always sack the momentum breaker for gaining life. Don't have enough land to go really crazy here. Let's get another momentum breaker down. That just did me. Oh no, I gain 1 life here. That turns this up. He already lost life that turn, okay. He's only going in with 2 of those. I think I want to actually draw a card. Boomerang seems decent. Okay. So we can make him take 6. Can return that. We can attack in, so 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. It's probably the best play. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For good measure, we can even turn this on. Good game. All right, we go first on this one. We do have 2 Duresses. We cannot cast, unfortunately, anything other than a Boomerang. Let's mulligan. It's a little bit better land-wise, but still kind of rough. We'll keep. We'll return a Boomerang. Drop a Reef. We're hoping. All right, so we're wishing a lot for this arena to do work here. Okay, are we playing against the artifact deck is the question. Well, we're going to see here with a Duress. Okay, we're not too worried about that one. Don't care about that one. Repurposing Bay is probably the biggest concern. We are playing against a synthesizer deck. All right. Let's just get our card draw down so we can start taking their hand apart. Okay, they are all artifacts, so that's good. This is going to be a pretty good turn, I think. I was hoping they'd pitch one of their artifacts, but they didn't. I drop this. Are they going to drop a Star Cage? Let's do this, and then we can bounce it back to our hand. If they drop a Star Cage, we'll just go after the other Star Cage, because we just don't want that to go away. Let's do that. They got 2 lands in their hands. Oh, never mind. That doesn't get them planes. I was thinking this was the other artifact. They do have 1 card that we don't know what it is. You can make them discard this artifact. In fact, I think that's what we're going to do with the, or discard their hand. Yeah, they got a repurposing bay. They can sacrifice this one. We can boomerang it back to our hand and then force them to discard it, which is kind of nasty. Get the Quandary down while we can. Interesting. Okay, they're going to repurpose Bay that. They're going to go for their synthesizer. Snare. Interesting. Okay. Let's return Snare to their hand. Force them to discard it through that. I think we're just going to get the bat out. Just to start doing incremental damage with it. We'll pump this up. So we'll enter tapped. Next turn. Okay, we'll start taking damage. We'll get this fired up next turn as well for more card draw. All right, good game. All right, opponent goes first on this one. This isn't too bad of a hand, actually. We'll keep this one. Can do a Duress. Otherwise, we can also boomerang, breaker, or run back to our hand if we want to. Hold up a phantom. I mean, we're going to start with the Duress, though. Well, we're definitely getting rid of that. Their creature destruction is kind of hilarious. Okay, they got a Grand. We'll kill that. Don't have any other creatures, so... There's nowhere to run that. They're wondering if they should just kill their own creature at this point. It's just to get a lesson in their graveyard, which actually wouldn't be a bad idea on their part. We're going to try getting the card draw down. And we got it. Awesome. They can always boomerang it back if they want to our hand, but kind of seems pointless. Okay, we need to start getting rid of their cards out of their hand. Intimidation Tactics is kind of useless, to be honest with you. Let's go for the Momentum Breaker. With the Bandit's talent. We are fueling their card draw, the Wisdom, with this because they're getting lessons in the graveyard, unfortunately. So now they got another lesson in there. Okay, they don't have a Wisdom yet, though. We do have counter spells. Oh, it'd be so nice to get that one more. We have 2 counter spells in our hand. Wisdom is 2. We can blow both those to stop them from casting it, if that's the case. Otherwise, I can bounce. Maybe that's what I do. I can bounce this and then turn this on. We got another one. Turn this on. Cast this again, get them down one more card. We'll pitch one of these, yep. We're just wanting them not to draw their wisdoms. That's pretty good. Okay, we'll get the Quandary down. Now their draw spells aren't looking so hot anymore. Perfect. See what they discard here. Probably should discard the combustion technique. But I'd be happy if they discard the boomerang. Okay. It's exiled too, which is nice. So we can momentum breaker. All right. Good game. All right, we go first on this one. This is pretty good. 1, 2, 3. Plus a draw or a counter. Just need to get some blue mana. Us going first is awesome. That's like they have 5 cards in hand to start. That's great for us. Let's see what they got. Oh, that is not good. High Noon is a little bit of a concern. Day of Judgment we don't care about. Space Time we care about. Authority we don't care about. Question is, are they gonna pick the right card? Either of these are the ones that I don't care about. Okay, they picked the right card. High Noon's pretty good. Ooh, that's pretty good. Let's have them discard 2 cards. We'll do Phyrexian because we want to try to find our mana here. Ooh, Get Lost pretty good for them to get rid of. And they don't have a counter or anything, so that's good. We did draw land here. Get the Quandary down. Can only cast one of these, unfortunately. Let's get that down. We'll keep... I guess we don't need to keep our counter up yet. We're not too worried about it. Let's do the... Oh, we can't cast another one. We'll keep our counter up. Can just sack or cycle this too if we want to. We'll cycle this. Well, let's just fire this up. Good game. All right, opponent goes first. We do have a perfect mana base here. Deep Cavern Bat's not too bad early. We don't have a whole lot other early stuff, unfortunately. We'll try keeping this one. Okay, we can slow down on the land. We need some discard spells here. We're going to cast this. The nice thing about the bats is no matter what, they're treated as like a removal spell, even if they go after them. Okay, they got a turn. Oh, we can take that. Let's do that. Quandary would be nice to get out. Let's get the momentum breaker down. Turn 5, I am going to keep my counter up, I think. For now, let's grab this. I should say their turn 5, which would be this turn. That I'm not as concerned about. 2 lands and a Wrath. Oh, Airbender. Okay. They have 3 cards in hand. We can force them to discard 2. We can counter 1 they cast. Let's counter the 1 they cast. Maybe they'll draw a land and then drop it. Because if they cast this, we're going to counter it. Well, we can counter this too if we wanted to. Airbend all other creatures. So anywhere other than their hands. I'm like okay with that. I guess they want to try to cast that thing, but we don't want to give them that, unfortunately. So kind of a wasted turn there. Intimidation Tactics. For the Wretch. Next turn. End turn. We don't want to give them the ability to just -3 our creature right away, because I don't want that go to exile, because it just makes it easier for them to cast. They'll be able to cast it next turn, but that's fine. I'm happy with a counter and then get rid of 2. So we'll do the counter. There we go. Empty their hand here. And then we'll cast Painful Quandary. Oh, interesting. I haven't really played with that card before. Is that when he dies or leaves play? Dies. Okay. Well, I think We're going to force him to do that. Then cast the talent. Force him to discard it. Fire up the talent. We'll start the damage, and then we can cast Quandary the next turn. This is where the Dimir really shines. Oh, that's pretty good on their side. Get this down. It's going to get harder for them to cast stuff. That's fine. Lose 5 life. Or discard a card. Yep. We need to find a bounce spell. Okay, that's ours, isn't it? Okay. Let's get our card draw going. Let's get the bat down. Start gaining some life. And they're losing some life, and they draw an extra card. That's not good, but we can get them to discard, so that's okay. That just allows them to play cards, though. It's really what that does. That's a rough one. Gonna find some more stuff to play. They can't take that much damage, though. That's the nice thing. Because they don't have a hand. Good game. All right, we go first on this one. We're going to have to do a untapped Watery Grave, though. We'll keep it. Need 2 life. Let's Duress them. Okay, they got Boomerang Basics and then a Fear of Isolation. Get rid of that. Momentum Breaker can get rid of their creature. Just get the tap land down. We'll force them to discard one of their lands here, because we know that's what they're going to do. Yep, Water Grave. Got a whole bounce thing going on here, kind of similar to what we have. Just they don't have discard. Interesting. Let's get him to sack his creature. Because otherwise he just bounces creature with the boomerang to do draw. We do have the counter available here. Alright, they didn't cast anything. I'll take my turn. Do have a nowhere to run. I think we're going to do the Ruthless. Just to get the card draw going, because we want to try to find our Bandit's talent. They might be thinking about countering this, maybe? Or I guess they're just trying to pick what they want. Boomerang Basics is pretty good for the breaker. Oh, they did have a draw here. That's unfortunate. So, might benefit us to bounce this back to their hand, counter it. Then And we could even do this to kind of mask it a little. Okay. Let him try casting it again. Counter spell. Oh, that's pretty good. All right, good game. All right, opponent goes first here. We will keep it. It's actually a pretty decent starting hand. What are they going to go after? Probably Bandit's talent? Three steps, interesting. Okay, one after Duress. I guess we still just do this. The monument out of there. They got the stock ups, that's unfortunate. They're probably going to discard one of them to the talent. Let's hope they got stuck on land here. They didn't. Okay, we'll get them to discard this Rupture, hopefully, fast enough. I mean, we got to do quite a bit of discarding here. We'll also be able to have a counter up here in a little bit. Oh, man. These draw spells are a killer. Turn these on while we can. We'll keep our counters up next turn. Another draw spell. They're just looking for their combo piece at this point. We drop our Momentum Breaker. Start getting some cards out of their hand for a change. There's only two cards I really want to counter in this, so. It's already up to 6. I think we just hold on. Another discard spell out there. So ideally we'd draw another discard spell, and then we can drop Cruelty and Rupture all at the same time. And turn. Yep. They're trying to find counter magic to help drop the Singularity, but they need more mana to do that as well. At least one more. Okay, that's pretty good. We need another one of those cruelties. That'd be awesome. Guards a river churn. Interesting. That's the second river churn they burn through, which means their other card is probably a river churn. This will be interesting to see their hand. They could counter this. I'm okay with that. Okay, they got to draw a spell. They got the Rupture. We'll fire this up to level 2. I think we might just counter the draw spell. So that's going to find what they need. Now they'll start taking damage. Let's see them do a discard. Okay, they did hit that. Yeah, I feel like they're playing off the top of their deck now. We are going to make them get rid of their card. Going to be taking more damage. All right. Can they draw the one card they need? They only have 2 in their deck. Good game. What a fun deck to play. This has to be one of my favorite versions of the discard deck. I like the fact that there's really not any creatures in this deck, so you can play it as a pure spell deck. You can sneak in some damage with the Restless Reef, which gets around all sorcery speed removal. They can just have their hand filled with that, even if you can't get the discard, and you're perfectly fine. Card draw with the Arena was awesome. I think the stars really is the counter spells, obviously with the Boomerang Basics. Man, this thing was awesome just to be able to counter stuff really quick early on. Counts as a discard, basically, if you're able to counter a spell. 3 steps ahead. If you can get to that 5 mana, you can draw 2 cards and counter a spell. Just sick. It's awesome being able to do that. Especially if you have a Painful Quandary, and then they have to, and they discard a spell to cast a spell, and then you counter it. That's just breaking it. It's a 2-for-1 right off the bat there, which is just insane. So awesome to see that. This deck is a blast. My favorite discard deck so far. And please hit that subscribe button below. Definitely helps out the channel. Hit that like icon. And if you have a hype, please click on the hype for the video. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic day.